Platchums!
My, what big plats you have. So we're back doing PSN profile reviews. We're so creative, aren't we? So creative. So first up is a celebrity from Finland. We've got Platinum Player 12. The real deal here. So, Platinum Player 12, 358 plats. 14,997 trophies overall. I mean, like 15,000, I'd be impressed, but I mean, this is okay. He's number 30 in Finland. That's how you know this guy is hardcore. He is 30th in Finland. So, there's no other way to do this other than read what we see and talk about what we think. So, straight in, I see stacks.
Stacks, yeah. The root of letter stacks. So it's there 4 times.
He likes it.
Platinums. Yeah, the platinums are like it's not like super fast. I don't know how quick that platinum is, but none of them were finished super quick. But yeah, the stacks are there, and then we got some more stacks with 36 fragments of midnight. That's a popular one amongst the stackers.
The
shall we
stackers,
say?
yes. We know who you are.
But like, yeah. I can see he's got 315
ultra rares. Yeah, that just caught my eye. But also 700 very rare is also excellent.
Yeah,
and
like I usually like when I see say an ultra rare level similar to the level of plats. I think that's a really good indication.
You just created an equation there, yo. That is a solid equation. It's
the root of leather.
The
equation.
Root of leather to plats to ultra rares equals badass. Yeah, the ultra rares are pretty super rare, like season vet and loadout. I mean, 0.3 is. That's nothing to sniff at. That is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So let's.
He's most proud of his Crisis 2 Platinum, his Mortal Kombat 10 Platinum, and Rayman's Legends, because they're all three impressive games. Crisis 2 had a really lengthy online section for it. Mortal Kombat 10 is crazy. Yeah. And just the amount of playing you need to do with each character, and that is pretty intense. And Rayman Legends, of course, has the infamous like daily challenges where you need to earn a certain amount, and if you don't do well in the daily challenges, it could potentially take you like 40 years.
Imagine that just in the trophy guide, estimated time 40 years. So we'll scroll down here, and he's obviously a man with a Vita, so access to knives.
Big fan. Big fan of the Vitas.
Actual sunlight. You're happy to hear that. Okay, the first kind of crumblings of this list, because it's all SSS, and then we've got Adventure Capitalist, which is a game we saw on someone else's list last time out.
That was Ditnapoda.
I'm still not over that list. Alien Isolation. Still haven't played it, even though it looks like something I would enjoy as a survival horror fan. But he's getting along there. He's at 29 of 51, but he also gave up 5 years ago. So,
the problem with that game is that it just stretches too long, because you think you're done, and then
I've heard that. I've heard that. It's one of those games. It's like you're expecting the credits, and it's like chapter 1. So loads of Angry Birds here. Obviously,
it's got Astros for the PS5, so that's cool.
Oh, man with the PS5, probably the only man in Finland based on the shortages we're seeing of the PS5. Astro's Playroom is looking like a very fun little game, though. To be fair, like just nostalgia.
Yeah,
just
it's really good. The only thing I mentioned this to you before, but I found like the effects on the DualSense are just so pronounced in it. They're really trying to show it off, but it nearly becomes like distracting.
It's just exaggerated for the sake. Just this.
It is.
The controller on steroids. What it'll be. able to do.
But it's really good. It's a great game. It's a really high quality game. There's so many homages to PlayStation throughout the years, so it's great. I had a great time with it. But yeah, you can see 8 hour platinum. That's pretty standard. It's a fairly short game.
I like seeing Back to the Future. That was pre Walking Dead Telltale. Even if I hate the way the episodes had their own separate icon as opposed to being under one. But look, it was early days. It was early days of the trophy system. It was the Wild West. So
and then they, of course, they released it again then
with
as
plats, as you can
with
see
a plat,
here.
No good.
Arkham Asylum, not platted, which is actually kind of surprising because I think it's the easiest one out of the Arkham trilogy.
Definitely the easiest. But he's maybe more of a fan of the story-driven Telltales because, of course, he's got the Enemy Within and the Tales series. But if any fan of that would do well to play the Arkham series as well, of course.
Absolutely. So Beyond Two Souls just kind of dabbled in it. Bioshock 2 dabbled in it, and then we're back to these kind of multiple stacks via PS4 versions of smaller games. Seems to be a person that just enjoys the sometimes a nice relaxing game. So I'm intrigued to see where the 315 ultra rares are coming from, because I'd say that this profile looks like one that there's going to be some absolute killers in here, like the Crysis Platinum and the Mortal Kombat one. So I'm intrigued to see what other plats rear up. Like, again, Borderlands 100%, I think that's very impressive.
It's a lot of DLC.
And
when you go down, then we get to the kind of Call of Duties. There's definitely some ultra rares in there.
Call of Duty Black Ops 3, that's insane actually. That's
insane.
0.15% have the 100%. I'm actually going to go in here. Even the plat itself, as you can see here on my screen, 0.75% rarity on PSN profiles, and it's 0.1 on Sony's end. And there's
the reason for that, I suppose, is kind of twofold. Number one, it's a really hard platinum. It's the amount of players with any of the Black Ops. So a few of them are a little bit skewed because I have a few ultra rare Call of Duties as well, and it's more so just the huge player base. But Black Ops 3 is without a doubt the hardest one because there's a lot to do in the campaign. You have to do all the challenges in the campaign. Usually that sounds fine, but in this one in particular, it's really crazy.
I can't. Oh my god! It has that stupid focusing stone trophy in Shangri-La from Black Ops. The Zombie Chronicles. Yeah. Oh my god, that was, and use the 3175 JGB 215 in each type of zombie. Oh my!
And that's the only Black Ops or the only Treyarch one that he's finished completely. So I think he's probably had his fill of zombies from that. Fair enough. That's a lot of zombies, and fair play for that.
Fair play.
Impressive.
That's a very impressive platinum and a very impressive 100%. As someone that has gotten some of those trophies in Black Ops 1. I probably wouldn't be running to do them again, to be fair. A few more.
He's got Cat Quest. I love Cat Quest. It looks like like a Ratalaika game when you see it, but it's actually a pretty substantial little kind of mini RPG.
I'm intrigued by Castle Crashers just above it though. It has a 1.16% completion. Win 40 arena ranked matches. Okay, seems like it's online. I'm not familiar with that game. It just caught my eye how rare the 100% was for a game without a plat. So fair play on that, because if it is a very difficult 100%, I always admire people that go for it in spite of it not having a plat. So
he has the Crash Bandicoot trilogy, the Insane trilogy, all plat, and he's done all the DLC. That's very impressive. They're not easy.
They're not easy at all. I'm getting the sense that this guy or girl plays literally just anything and everything. I've obviously tried some of the bigger games like Beyond Two Souls and Bioshock 2. Obviously didn't fancy them, so I feel like it's a very impressive list. Or like Dark Souls down here. Obviously just beat a few of the bosses and maybe got the the first bonfire and 2 or 3 bosses and call it quits.
Yeah. Acquired best weapon through standard reinforcement. So yeah, maybe. So he's arrived in he's defeated the gargoyles in the church, but he also has the obtained best weapon through standard reinforcement. So I think there's a few guides online where you can kind of like rush to get like
I think that was my really first weapon trophy in Dark Souls that I unlocked, though the standard reinforcement is definitely a lot more accessible. Or maybe just a friend joined and just dropped it,
True. That's another option. But yeah, definitely give those Dark Soul games a chance.
Zombie fan anyway. Dead Island, Riptide, Dead Nation Apocalypse, Dead or Alive, Dead Rising 2, Deadpool, all the dead. He just loves it. Dead Block.
There's a lot of death there. Yeah, Dead Nation is a cool game. I think we both finished that back on the PS3.
Doodle God. I'm just going to scroll through some of these. A lot of 100%. So look,
the Doom games, they're not easy, especially
Doom
the
2.
Ones.
Doom 2, because I got the Doom 3 BFG edition platinum, and I struggled a lot more with the Doom 2 trophies.
Yes.
It was just difficult to go back to such an old game. Dragon Ball, very impressive plats. I'm guessing he picked up a lot of his ultra rares here. They all
doesn't
kind of
have
slip into that territory.
Doesn't have Kakarot, so I definitely recommend picking up Kakarot if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, because it's like it just goes through the entirety of Dragon Ball Z, exactly per the canon of the series. So it's a great retelling for any Dragon Ball Z fans.
It doesn't have the Dark Souls plat, but he does have the Duck Souls plat twice. So I mean that kind of covers him there. Dying Light. For such a zombie fan, I'm surprised it's not sitting pretty at the 100%, because for me that was possibly the least the most fun zombie game to come out. I guess the previous generation at this point. Thought it was excellent, great mechanics, just fun to traverse the world. So
maybe he could get Poo Poo Blast to give him a hand.
He should. He'll have that 100% in 10 minutes. Fall Guys, Ultimate Knockout, definitely in vogue. Fallout 4, not completed. Final Fantasy 13-2 as well.
I think it's the same on Fall Guys as myself.
Yeah, you're at 86, 89.
Yeah, you didn't get the infallible trophy, which is the same as myself, because it's a tricky one. Win those.
Is that your last trophy before the plat?
Or 5 games? Yeah, it's the only one that I need. I also need finish a game with the squad, but I got to 3 wins in a row myself.
Oh, stop!
Yeah, no, it's like this was back when there was the glitch,
I don't actually know.
Yeah, there's basically what you could do is if you left the game just before you got eliminated, it wouldn't count against you. But it was not easy because
I can imagine you were just about to win. And just everyone leaves, just at the same time.
Yeah, no, it's a great game, but I wasn't a fan of that trophy. So, I feel
for me Fall Guys was the quintessential example of a game that I would play on my alternative account. It's one of maybe just the 10 that are on it. And to be fair, I enjoyed it. Played 3 or 4 rounds. And this is a bit fun. And then I instantly lost all interest. As I said, it just wouldn't keep me captivated enough. But I understand its appeal, and it was a lot of fun. But after 4 rounds, for me personally, I'm like, okay, I think that's enough. Plus, such a cute game shouldn't make me so angry. So scrolling down here, Foxyland 2, we're kind of hitting this. Frobisher says it's an ultra rare 100%. And I'm almost scared to click it, so I'm going to scroll right past. He's got the Game of Thrones game that you were waxing lyrical about there on the last video.
No, that's just the Telltale.
Oh, that's the Telltale one. Sorry, because the other one has I'll put it up here. Boom! It's like a side profile. It's kind of red auburn, isn't it? Yeah. I remember it. Sorry. Sorry, that was more.
No, I know.
I
I had to check it as well. Because I wasn't when I saw it. I was like, oh, two Game of Thrones on the PS3.
Oh.
No, but yeah, again, another callback.
Callback. God,
Please,
we're great.
please watch. Please play the Game of Thrones game. It's cool.
Only the PSP God of War games. GTA 5. Again, just dabble. Just dabble. Probably to see what all the fuss was about. Gravity Rush, a game that I have had my eye on for quite a long time that I would like to play at some point. Hopefully I can get a Vita sorted soon. He's even played Guardians of the Galaxy. What I'm gathering, you like Telltale because you've even played some of the, Back to the Future and Guardians of the Galaxy as well, which definitely was not as popular. You can see only 34,000 owners on PSN profiles. Which was surprising because
unrelated to this, but I'm definitely going to give you my Vita to play because I've finished everything, so you can borrow mine.
Oh,
and then
my God, you just saw a man's wish dream come true. Wait, what?
I've all my Vita games. Yeah, so Besides that, Hannah Montana Platt. That's cool.
Well, the tone just lowered so quickly there. Have my Vita. Hannah Montana the movie. Look, this game, not going to judge. You live in Finland. I'm sure, if you can get a ray of sunshine into your life through Hannah Montana during the harsh winter, I don't blame you. Because it was during winter, 22nd of December, so it kind of fits. That game used to be like the ultimate shameful game. And I think it still has that kind of stigma just because, look at, come on, look, it just looks,
I think it's a meme game.
It's a meme game at this point, but I think we've moved past it. Let's not judge anyone for having Hannah Montana on their list anymore. As I said,
no.
The Finnish winter is long, it is dark, and it is cruel. So sometimes all you need is a bit of Hannah Montana.
But Hannah Montana equates to
5 hours. That's dedication.
5 hours. That's
dedication.
That's and there's some catchy songs along the way.
I don't know what you're talking about. So I've got some Hello Neighbor games here. Hitman Blood Money, excellent game. I don't know why it's loaded up here, but I should definitely give it a go. But I'm starting to get the sense you do prefer the shorter, snappier games. Overall, Infamous 2, you seem to like. Festival of Blood, which I really should play. I have it on my PS3. It's one of those that have just been sitting on the backlog. We're kind of Jack and Jill. For the most part, it's a funny mix of games. The lion's share of games are quintessentially easy, but then stuff like Jetpack Joyride, which kind of bounces between very rare and ultra rare in its completion. So a lot of these kind of smaller niche games that Platinum Player plays are quite impressive. But I would be lying if I said I knew what all of them were. Kingdom Hearts, essentially a clean sweep, and I think that's the latest trophy in Kingdom Hearts, 29th of November.
The DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3 is it's a big step up in difficulty.
Yeah, that's reflected in the percentage there. So fair play. That's just something that I like to see. Just a whole series. You've put the time in there. Then
Life is Strange
knowledge is
twice.
power. Damn right.
Yeah.
That is a sweet plat.
Oh, he's got all the Little Big Planets and Little Big Planet 3 twice, even the Vita game and carding. So they're very impressive. And they're not easy games at all.
Wow. I only have the first Little Big Planet Platinum.
Yeah.
I don't know why I never played the other two. The first game was it was one of the first games I got. And I bought that with Dead Space, which is quite a mix of games to buy. And I loved it. I thought it was so creative, and I spent a lot of time creating levels and stuff, but I just never bothered. I think I owned 3 because it was a PlayStation Plus game at some point. No, that is very impressive, actually. Lone Survivor, Midnight Club.
That's a good game, actually. Lone Survivor. I've played that on the Vita. it's an ultra rare plat, but it's not an ultra rare difficulty. You know.
Mirror's Edge, one of my kind of favorite games on the PS3 generation. No, not for story reasons. I have a long video on my channel about it. Just for a purely aesthetic and unique reason that game just resonated with me. I just love the art style, and I think it holds up very, very well today.
Yes, yeah.
Mr. Masagi again. My God. I wouldn't want haptic feedback in that game, to be fair. You're so tense. I'm just going to scroll through. My name is Mayo, of course. Junctions, Octodad,
You know, I was watching someone talk about My Name is Mayo actually recently, and I was nearly thinking, God, I nearly have to take the plunge and just get it, because they were talking about what a meme game it is, and it's a bit of a laugh. I don't know.
Platchums will be over.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. So I'm just kind of quickly scrolling through here because we need to get to other people.
He's got Peggle 2, which has one of the best gaming memes of all time. When your man came out in E3 and he goes, Peggle 2.
Oh yeah. Roll the clip.
Roll the clip. Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank. Wow. Clearly like Ratchet and Clank, which I appreciate. It's a series I personally never got into. I still have a sealed copy of Ratchet and Clank on PS3 that I got with the console that I never opened, and I kept out of spite because when I went to trade it in, GameStop offered me 1 cent for a sealed copy of.
Wow.
And this was in 2010. It's not as if I went in last week with it. It was still very much in the prime of the PS3's years, like.
Yeah, that's mad. Yeah, it's not even worth the paper it's printed
No,
on.
it really isn't. The receipt costs more. I'll take it in store credit, please. Riddled Corpses. EX. Interesting. I feel like I could learn a lot of games that might intrigue me by looking at a list like this. Sagebrush, a game that you're always quick to give praise to.
Yeah.
So that's nice to see.
It's interesting.
So it's a very off the beaten track kind of list. And it said that the trend of games like Sleeping Dogs, I know that's not a big AAA game, but it's definitely a double A. It seems to be the trend, bar these kind of classics, Crash Bandicoot, Sly Cooper, and Ratchet and Clank. You seem to avoid spending too much time with the bigger games, or they don't seem to capture your attention in the same way. Of Spyro, I almost saw that coming. You seem to like the old school platformers, Stein Gate, which I was saying in the other video that I'm kind of intrigued to play myself. A few more stacks of, I'm assuming, Radalika games. I know Super Destronaut. I've seen clips of that.
Super Weekend Mode is it's one of the ones I was considering when I did that video, just trying to get to the rank 100 really quick, because I saw it could be done really quick, in 5 minutes.
Okay, four. Okay, no, that's the Walking Dead collection. You finished the Walking Dead 3 times, Season 2 3 times, Walking Dead Michonne twice. No, you've actually finished the final. Oh, that's the final season twice, disc edition and digital. Well, it becomes a telltale list here. Then the Wolf Among Us 3 times.
And the definitive series, because that's just 1 platinum for the whole game, for the whole 4 or 5 seasons with Michonne as well.
Okay, so do you like them?
So a big fan. Yeah, no, definitely.
No.
I'm definitely into story driven things. Absolutely.
No, but that I love the series. I've only played up to A New Frontier, which I thought was pretty good. It didn't hit me the same way as seasons 1 and 2, but I will play the final season at some point, and I'm very much looking forward to The Wolf Among Us 2, because The Wolf Among Us would be my personal favorite Telltale game. I just think it's stellar. So there's Toro, the best artwork ever made. Even Uncharted here didn't didn't tickle your pickle, really. Undertale Until Dawn. Just highlighting kind of the bigger games that pop out to me here. Wolfenstein: The New Order. That's very good job on that. And we end with Zombie Vikings, which probably sums this guy up very well. I'm going to give you the rank of Zombie Viking. Most of your plats are based around zombies, and you're from Finland. So there it is.
Very, very fair. Yeah, no, it's there's a lot, like when you look through the list of ultra rares, I think it becomes pretty clear. Like there's a lot of work has gone into a lot of these games. I think it's easy to like look over the list and then just think there's like a lot of multi stacks and things like that. But I think it's clear, he's definitely into getting up the rankings, because he's 2,499th in the world, so it's a really impressive rank. So and he's got 5.12 trophies per day. So it's definitely someone who's kind of gunning for the leaderboards, trying to get up there.
Absolutely. Like I feel like the list, when you kind of glance at, obviously we can't go into like extreme detail. There's 641 games here, but I think that the ultra rare rate is very impressive, as you said earlier with your crazy equation that's plats to ultra rares. That's kind of like a good barometer to go on. And I feel like to kind of quickly glance through like we did does maybe understate the quality behind the quantity. Obviously played a lot of Rattlelica games, but like Crysis 2 sticks out, like Crash Bandicoot. There's some great games here, so I'm going to give him the rating of Zombie Viking.
Zombie Viking out of 10.
Zombie Viking out of Dead Rising 3. Yeah. There it is. So
that's great. Yeah. Okay.
Next up,
moving on.
Vigilant Crow.
Crow. Okay, it's definitely a shorter list. It is maybe someone whose account is a little bit newer.
Whoa. Okay.
So
I am immediately impressed. I am immediately impressed. I was not expecting that for someone with 41 plats and a little over 2,000 trophies.
Wow.
Holy shit.
This is very, very impressive. Yeah, immediately.
You're within 60 trophies or so of the common trophies being equal to the ultra rares. That is nuts.
That is insane. My goodness.
Well done. You're one Vigilant Crow, and it's only 3 years old. That's what I was scrolling down to, but I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I would say, like, immediately, I think this
best list ever.
This must be it must be like a curated list. I'm sure that this person must have like a gaming list, where like they just throw on whatever. But this list seems to be very focused on the creme de la creme.
I would say that this is the perfect side project of a veteran trophy hunter. I'd say that there's an older list behind this one, and that this is the list that's for perfection itself, or the really tough ones. As you said, it is a curated list, so I'm just going to have a look and see what's going on. Just started Alien Isolations, Apex Legends, Bioshock, Bloodborne seems at home on a list like this.
I'm not aware of that Bloons TD5.
I'm not aware of that actually. I was just going to say I don't know what that is.
Looks like a fairly rare platinum.
It's a Cold War.
It's a monkey.
In ultra rare there. Catherine Full Body. Catherine is a game that I played on alternative accounts years ago, and I very much enjoyed it.
It's a tricky platinum.
City Skylines. Oh, okay. If he manages to 100% that as well, that is a time consuming 100%.
Don't Starve and Don't Starve Together, they're really impressive, because there's a lot of work that goes into even just the base game there.
Yeah, like I've played Don't Starve and Don't Starve Together and City Skylines on Steam. I probably shouldn't even say that. Will I censor it now from now on? Steam. because lo and behold, I actually do sometimes play something else. Oh God, no, Platchums is over. So that is very impressive. Like, Don't Starve Together is a great little game as well for multiplayer. So if you're looking for something kind of co-op and maybe something a little different, give it a go. Maybe not in a trophy hunting sense. That's just in a game recommendation sense. Final Fantasy VII Fortnite. Okay, I'm going in.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, it's a super grindy platinum.
He's a member of a 207 strong club here, and considering how ubiquitous Fortnite is, like everyone plays it or was playing it, that is insane. I'd say a fair few of his ultra rares is coming from this.
And you can only imagine, like, if it's a 0.07% on PSN profiles, you can just imagine what it is actually like across PSN widely, because Fortnite is it's going to be.
It says 0.1, but I would hazard that it's less. I'd say that's just the lowest it can go.
The lowest it can go. Yeah, I'd say it's 0.000.
Like,
yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Gauntlet.
Just given how many players there are.
Another ultra rare. Harvest Moon. I mentioned that I love Back to Nature, and I think I played A Wonderful Life years ago. So that's actually a very impressive plat. Don't let the cartoony nature of Harvest Moon fool you.
Your video with of game manuals is highlights that very clearly.
Yeah, a great manual.
So
great manual.
Plug that video right there.
Plug it right there. God, this is just like the realm of ultra rares. It's like invisible. 0.42.
Like, there's some games on there that like aren't necessarily very difficult, but maybe they're just like maybe some of his favorite games. You know, for example, Final Fantasy VII is a very easy platinum. But like even Bloodborne would be considered a fairly easy platinum.
Yeah, or like The Evil Within, tough 100%, and it is an ultra rare. And he's just put The Witcher
mode is tough.
He or she has just put The Witcher on. So it's curated in the sense that maybe it's like anything that qualifies as ultra rare gets on. Like Skyrim, it gets in purely on the 100%.
Yeah.
So wow, okay. XCOM 2. Ooh.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Yeah.
That's not a plat I see too often.
No, it's a nice platinum. Yeah, like, look, you know, this is a list that is not concerned with the rank, but concerned with the quality.
I appreciate the shit out of this list, and it's like recently I'm going into the deep stats here. 164 trophies in November, 119 September. So I mean, it's kind of like churning them out pretty quickly. Like, considering this is such a list that's based around ultra rarity, a 2.35 a day is very impressive as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Like, to think that the account is relatively new, but to have just so many ultra rares, like it's almost double the amount of ultra rares that I have completely.
Yeah,
and I've been playing, you know, way longer now. You know, maybe that's the intention behind the account.
Yeah, it's about 80 more than me, I think.
I would love to see the ultra rares go over the commons.
I definitely think this isn't like maybe an older gamer or someone that.
It actually, if you see the little tag, it says just an old crow hunting shiny trophies. So I think that kind of confirms maybe our hypothesis that
I'd like to buy this person.
Is a veteran.
I'd like to buy this person a beer and sit down and just talk about games. So we'll wrap up Vigilant Crow. I would say almost, I mean, if you take it just as a list overall, arguably the strongest we've seen in terms of what's actually there.
In terms of it being like curated like that with the intention of, you know, just have like that rarest trophy section just looks so nice because you've got triple digits in everything. And just that level of ultra rares and rares is just, very rares is crazy.
And I've no doubt that whoever this amazing person is, that they'll be finishing off everything. I mean, there's quite a lot of unearned trophies, but as you can see, they're only from 6 games, and they're not
Yeah.
games that you need to worry about server closures with.
Yes.
Or maybe City Skylines, I don't think so, but and Balloons, because that's the only game that I don't know on this list.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I would say you're no crow. You are an eagle, and you're soaring, right? You're
Well,
soaring
I
above
think
the
maybe
sky.
the crow, or like maybe my kind of magpie-esque for the eye for the shinies. I think that was the
Imagine he's just dressed like Brandon Lee from the movie. Just
all
sitting
the
at home.
plats.
So, yeah, very impressive, but let's
Very
move
impressive.
on. Okay, so Gern Bose. I speak a little German, and Dan actually Google Translate Bose, so it's I like
A little bit of evil.
a little bit of evil. Gern Bose. So,
So,
you said you're not necessarily a massive trophy hunter, and just considering the sheer amount of games on this list, so we're gonna just kind of not gloss over it, but we're gonna focus on the actual platinums you have. So I'm
yeah,
gonna
I think
change
maybe if we
completion
sort it.
just to platinum, just, and we'll maybe have a look later on at
Yeah.
everything else.
So it's
So
a fair way
what
of going.
happened
Yes.
via here? So
So it looks like when you sort by platinum here, what's immediately apparent is that they're all big games. There's
you got your Assassin's Creed, Borderlands, not to the 100%. Burly Man, it's that game.
that game.
It's haunting me.
I'm gonna get it one day. Yeah, just big games there. Games that we all know.
Burnout Paradise.
A Plague
Dante's
Tale is
Inferno.
something.
There's a blast from the past.
Yeah, I remember I got the special edition steelbook one for that. That was a great game.
Very underrated
Um,
game. That and Darksiders as well. They're very much like just lost in time. Like I feel like they're games that are never talked about.
That was like the golden age of that kind of hack and slash.
Kind of like
because that
God of
kinda
War Light.
died.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of died around that time.
It lived
there hasn't
and
been-
died at the same time.
Yeah.
Got Dex
Yeah,
Doom, very impressive plat. Drive Club, very
Drive
nice
Club,
job on that. I don't think it's Gran
Server
Turismo.
closures.
Yeah, I don't think it's a Gran Turismo 5 level plat, but it's a very good platinum.
These, yeah.
Dragon Age as well, very much almost from that same time as Dante's Inferno, and Darksiders. What I'm getting from the
Yeah.
plat so far is that this was someone that was massive into hunting trophies, and just maybe as time went on, just kind of lost interest or just didn't have as much time. Kind of like myself, to be honest. Past 3-4
Yeah.
years compared to 10, 11, 12 years ago, my trophy proficiency has dropped a little bit.
Yeah.
That's just the way life goes. But then again, still racking up games like Life is Strange, Horizon, Mad Max got in there before the server closed. Very
Yeah.
nice. Spider-Man, Shadow of Mordor. Monster Energy Supercross.
It's
Sehr gut gemacht. Okami, excellent games. Actually, one of my favorites on PS2. And very nice very fair trophy list, I think.
we've got it's interesting. We've got Persona 4 Dancing All Night, but we don't have Persona 4. So he's got the dancing version, but not the actual
respect.
Yeah, but now of course we might that might be in the not platinum list, I'm sure. But yeah, and the platinum for Persona 4 means like it's kind of like at least 2 playthroughs. So it's a bit of a pain. The game that jumps out to me there is Pyre. That's it's a super giant game. So like Bastion and Transistor and now Hades. I love everything that Supergiant does.
Transistor was excellent. That was actually the first game I played on PS4. No, sorry, the second game. First game was Fallout 4. And around the time I first played a PS4, Transistor was on PlayStation Plus, and it was just a beautiful game. I
it
really
was.
appreciated what like stylistically and even the mechanics. There's some very interesting ideas in it. Star
Yeah.
Wars Jedi Fallen Order, a game I kind of keep recommending to you.
Yeah, I've still not picked it up. I'm looking forward to it because it marries my love for Star Wars and Souls like games.
And
So
trophies.
I
It's
and trophies. Yeah.
it's a nice kind of list. It's a perfect balance between the three. Like it's
Yeah.
just a very very good game. It reminded me a lot of those kind of Beyond Good and Evil. Those really solid
Yeah.
AA games that you play in between like the big releases. I know it is by all intents and purposes a AAA game, but it kind of
Yes.
just
Yeah.
has like the charm of like a smaller studio.
I know that one of the big complaints about the trophy list, at the very least, is that there's a lot of backtracking involved.
Yeah, yeah, like you'll be cruising through space, going back to the same areas, maybe just 2 or 3 times, but it's not too bad. Like I wouldn't say you'd need to follow a guide for it. Maybe if have a quick glance before you leave a planet and go somewhere else. But it's honestly it's very doable. It's not
Yeah.
too bad. So you've got Two Walking Dead's Transistor.
Yeah.
Not too much of a
Transistor.
surprise to see that if they've played a lesser known game like Fire. And Legends of WrestleMania. So seems like a lot of the plants came 2009, 2010, and then 2018 and 2020. Quite lopsided in that sense. And this is Super Stardust HD was the first trophy. So this is an OG account, probably even
Yeah.
a little bit older than mine, which was from October 2008.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Well, I think from, say, even if we look at like the amount of games played, it's clear that this person is hugely into games.
Yeah.
And that's again, we've said this before, but I love those kind of accounts where you can just try your hand at everything, and the trophy hunting comes as like a pure second focus, an
Yeah.
afterthought more so. I would sometimes love to be able to just throw in a disc and try it for a little bit of a time, and then give it put an end to that, rather than
end it.
putting myself through.
like I'm scrolling through just the whole list, and I mean, like, 44 out of 48 trophies in Arkham Asylum. I mean, like, this is a person that like plays their games and finishes them, like 31 in Bioshock Infinite.
Yeah.
Like Brothers Tale of Two Sons. Always love seeing that on people's lists. It's an excellent game.
It's a great game. Yeah.
This is someone that has, dabbled in, I would say, almost every kind of game you can imagine. And to be fair, it's like that ultimately is what gaming is about. I know it's like a trophy focused channel, and I love getting trophies, but ultimately the love of gaming kind of supersedes that. And this is someone that's
Absolutely.
just clearly, just loves trying every type of game.
Yes.
And
yes,
you know what?
absolutely.
Just keep doing what you're doing. I'd say when a list kind of looks like this, I mean, it's more like it becomes clear this is just a gamer's list, that
Yeah.
but still managed along the way to gather some pretty nice platinums.
Yeah.
And like I'm
Yeah, it's
looking
not-
through, it's just like very good games. Like
It's not like a list that you're ever going to be able to clean up per se, because
Yeah.
there's just too much volume there. But it's a great catalog of this person's experiences with games. And
Yeah.
I think that you could I'm sure that the person could look back at the list and just that C D E the alphabetic rank that the games are given nearly gives like an indication of just how much time and maybe how much that person liked each game. So
Yeah.
he can kind of go through and be like, oh yeah,
It's a
I did
like meter, not a trophy
Yeah.
completion meter. Like it's
I liked Apex Legend an F, so I stopped playing.
Titanfall gets an A, Titanfall 2.
Yeah.
The Division a B, which is probably fitting to be fair. Tomb
and
Raider
I think
a B.
that's actually it's a good use of the rating system there, because yeah, like I said, I'd love to have a similar list where I just try every single game. But that curse of the platinum, it's sometimes too strong to resist.
Okay, so what's your final word on Gernbos?
I think it's a great list. I think it's nice that he just tries everything, and yeah, some nice platinums in there, definitely. 122 platinums over the course of pretty much the entire life cycle of the trophy system is really cool. This is an OG gamer, and yeah, just a
It's like
pure
10, still averages like 10 plats a year.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
definitely, but I think it's clear trophies are not the focus. This person is all about the games.
Yeah, so my final word is Gernbos, du bist eine fantastische Spieler. I probably made a balls of that. Es tut mir leid. So
Well, I even understood that.
yeah. And I'm shy. Alright, so last but not least, the noob. 1, 2, 3. Noob is a word that was used a lot more often than it is these days, but yeah, so let's see. I'm guessing this is 12 years. Yeah, oh my god, it is. I was just about to say it's a very around 2009 kind of name. So no timestamp on the first couple of trophies there, so obviously you've had your PlayStation since day one.
Yeah, I have a few of those as well. So just to clarify that, because I know some people might not be aware. But
yeah, I feel like newer
didn't.
trophy hunters aren't aware of what the missing timestamp 99% of the time means. So go on, explain it, Dan.
Well, it's literally just a case of not having your PlayStation connected to the PlayStation network when these trophies were earned. So they were just earned locally on the PlayStation system. So it didn't store a timestamp because, of course, the time was just relative to the console's time, So there was no official timestamp awarded to that trophy. Like before, potentially some people, I think it might have been a way where you could, like, if you hacked your games offline, it could be like that. But with someone like this, say with my own account as well, you can see it. I think it's just, is it just Resident Evil 5? I think I have a few of them that don't have a timestamp, just because it was like the first game I had played on my account. Hadn't set that up to the
see,
PSN
kids,
yet.
not everyone had internet back then.
Yeah.
In 2008,
No, I had internet.
No, well, I didn't. All right.
I did.
And
yeah.
I don't have any missing timestamps on my current profile, but I did on my very first one, Vic Firth, which is just a drumstick brand. It's not a creative name. And essentially, it just happens if you unlock a trophy before actually creating a PSN account. Just yeah, it happens.
So it's not so it, just in case anyone's wondering, it's no sign of illicit trophy acting.
I know.
Action.
So
it's
leave
just,
the noob alone.
it's just OG status.
OG status. So we'll kick into this Way Out. That's also the first game that pops up on my profile when you sort alphabetically. Great co-op game.
Yeah, I've yet to play it myself, but
I
it's
keep
always on my
telling you,
radar.
I keep telling you, I have it. So anytime you
I think
fancy playing it.
I think that might be a good Platchums series.
Does anyone
Maybe
would anyone like to see me and Dan go for a Way Out Platinum together? Let us know down below if you've even made it this far.
We could do like a highlight reel more so than a
they have to watch every excruciating, boring detail of us even referring to the guide. First of all, Assassin's Creed fan. I think it's safe to say.
Big time.
With pretty great completion when you look across the board. The game's like overall 83. I think once you kind of pass 80, like you're in pretty damn good territory. Batman Arkham City Arkham Knight. This actually reads a lot like my list when I sort alphabetically, bar all the Assassin's Creed, because mine goes Asylum, City, Night, then Beyond Good and Evil, then Beyond Two Souls, then Bioshock. So I'm kind of
Yeah.
like, is this my list, and where have all my trophies gone? um, so a lot of games that I don't know are just placeholders, maybe to play in the future. I don't know, or maybe just to have the icon there because it looks cool and it's a well-known game. And at any rate, um, Dishonored 1 and 2, Dragon Age Inquisition.
But see, some of those games can be deleted if the person wanted to, because they're at that F rating. So if they wanted to delete them, they could.
And they could delete quite a few here, and like I don't think it counts for the completion rate if it's at 0.
No. Yeah,
well, I'm not sure about the unearned trophies. I don't think it counts either, does it?
I don't believe it does.
I know it doesn't count towards completion. Maybe someone can clarify that. Maybe I could literally clarify it now, but I'll stay on the list.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure it doesn't affect either, because you can kind of see there, like his completion rate, his unearned trophies, they kind of match up with the total amount of trophies that he has. So I'm pretty sure that the completion and the unearned trophies aren't affected by F rating games.
Okay, so I'm down at Erica, which was a PS Plus game a few months back. I admired the patience to sit through it.
Yeah, it's like 5 playthroughs.
Yeah, and unskippable. You got Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Final Fantasy. You got a God of War fan as well. A few. No, it's only God of War 3 that's been doubled up on. But not a bad game to double up on, to be fair. Again, this is very similar to my list with Horizon, Infamous, Second Son, Jak and Daxter. Journey sitting at 0. I think that's a shame. I feel like that's a game that you should play if you clearly own it. Now, this is very impressive. Killzone 1, 2, and 3 at 100%.
Yeah. And then the Shadowfall one, like the DLC for that is just another little bit of the multiplayer. So it's like it's just multiplayer DLC, but it's not like a huge amount more. It's just like kind of finished the DLC class, I believe, that they released as DLC. Or actually I'm just looking at the trophies. It's just a few kind of co-op ones that he doesn't have
in Shadowfall.
In Shadowfall, yeah. So that might be something that
maybe that's the one to tidy up.
Might go back to, because that's actually it's a good game. I enjoyed that game a lot.
Yeah.
It was one of the launch games for the PS4.
Yeah, I think
so
they went back to it in 2018. They got the plan in 2015, so they've gone back to it before. So why not go back to it and finish it off? Because it seems like you do like going for the 100%.
Yeah.
And let's see. So Killzone, Kingdom Hearts. Again, an awful lot of just games that haven't even been started. I used to kind of do that sometimes, where I just load a game up because I just like the aesthetic of just having that game there, and also kind of like, okay, I'm going to get to it, you know. But Spider-Man, Mass Effect trilogy, all 100%, excellent, and even Andromeda. Sons of Liberty. Let's see what you're missing here.
Just with Andromeda, I think Andromeda is one of those games that got a really bad rap at the start, but through subsequent like updates and a bit of support, it's turned itself around in a big way. It still maybe doesn't reach the heights of the original trilogy, or at least maybe 1 and 2, but because three endings sucked. But
Citadel DLC changes that though. I felt like that makes that's like the true ending for me. It ends on a very kind of soft note, which it's just all about the characters, and that's ultimately the driving force behind Mass Effect, more so than the overarching plot. And I felt like in the original game, just there wasn't enough space to kind of truly say goodbye to these characters. So I felt like that addressed my core issue with the ending anyway.
My core issue is more about the build up of the illusion of choice. But I think definitely Andromeda is maybe kind of it's a good sci-fi game, but maybe not a good Mass Effect game.
Yeah, I got it for €3 on a PSN store sale, I think 3 years ago, and I got it, or maybe 2 years ago, And I just got it just because it's like, one day I'm going to just play it because I'm a huge Mass Effect fan.
Yeah.
And I felt almost dirty getting it for that price. You know, kind of, it's like Ned Flanders selling all this stuff. You know, when he opens up the Leftatorium.
Yeah.
And you just feel kind of like, just kind of dirty. You know, like, you know that they're kind of down and out. So I'm looking at the Metal Gear Solid 2 trophy. Snake Tails, that's a very doable silver trophy. The dog tags, there's no simple way of doing it. It's just kind of multiple playthroughs, but once you get the stealth camouflage, it becomes just a matter of just running through the game. And the plant chapter is a lot shorter than I remember back in the day. And the VR and alternative missions, kind of skill based, but I feel like since that's the only plant bar Peace Walker you're missing out on in the Metal Gear Solid series, I'd recommend going back and finishing those up, because it's pretty sweet to have all the plats for Metal Gear, and you'd have one extra one than I would, or an extra 100%, I mean, with Ground Zeroes, because I never actually got that. So,
yes.
got Minecraft, Neo sitting at Zero Rain, which is another game I have on PS3 that I wanted to play for quite some time.
Yeah, that was like one of those. It's like one of the first kind of delves into Sony's indie darling stage.
It really was. And it's just been sitting there. I need to get the PS3 out at some point. Shadow of the Colossus sitting at Zero, Sly Cooper, all plats there. Spyro, 2 Skyrims. It's a list that's not too dissimilar to mine, to be honest. Like, really,
and likewise.
Yeah.
And got the Last of Us 2, but he hasn't done the extra trophies just yet. So maybe come back to that.
Well, it's fresh. I'm going to be working in them soon once I finish Days Gone.
Yeah, it's very doable. The grounded and permadeath playthrough. It's not as difficult as people might fear. It's quite achievable.
Yeah. My advice in this list would be a very simple way to actually make this list just a lot tighter would be just delete the games you haven't played yet. I don't know what the reason is for having them, but if you want my critical advice for whatever it counts, if there are some games here that you've no intention of playing or just placeholders, maybe just clear them off your list, because you've so many that, for me, if this were my list, I'd almost be overwhelmed looking at all those Fs, and I almost wouldn't know where to start. So I would say maybe get rid of them, see the games that, you know, like Metal Gear Solid 2 or other games that you're close to the plat, like Knack, and work on them. And then those games that you haven't played yet, maybe just add them as you feel like actually playing them, as opposed to just kind of taking up space and maybe kind of just like, hey, you remember me, you still need to play me, because that's a bad feeling when you have a big backlog.
I think what's clear about this person is that they're kind of like feast or famine. So it's a case of, if they start the game, they're pretty much going to finish it, but they might put a disc in and just go actually no, and then just eject the disc and throw it out the window or something. But there's a lot of, like you said, a lot of F games there that they just haven't gone. So I think you can effectively just discount those from the list, because
there's 26.
Yeah, those, and they can be just removed with a click of a button, on the trophy list themselves. So like maybe just not too concerned with that. But definitely, like, any game that this person goes after, they do, they pretty much finish it as much as they're kind of as much as they want to. It's kind of the way I play games myself. I'm usually in it for the 100% if possible. But then, for example, like if you look at like one of the games like Fall Guys again is another good example. You know, he got 64% and he's like, no, I'm happy with that. And you know, I can appreciate that. That's how I feel with a lot of games. Once I've had enough, I've had enough.
No, absolutely. They have a very good average rarity though of 42.87%. That's actually very good. So we'll bring this home. What is your final opinion on the noob?
I think he gets a not noob.
You're not a noob, man.
No, yeah, he's not a noob.
Maybe the noob one. Number one.
Number one. The not noob, number one.
Yeah, not the noob, to be fair at this point. Not the noob 321. No, overall, like, just a very good profile. Probably in the upper end. Not really so much in terms of rarity, but just in the quality of games. Just a lot of the big hitters are here, and there's also some kind of smaller games like, you know, Rhyme, Prey, just things like that, just kind of just spliced in. But I would recommend you trim the F fat.
the F. Yeah. F80.
Yeah. F80.
There's. Yeah. No. A great list. I think there's some really good games, and like you said, a lot of crossover with our kind of lists as well.
Yeah, it's fair. It's really very similar. We've a very similar taste. In games, but for me anyway, the S would annoy me. I'd be like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. No, I would be too. If like I wouldn't, I'm not able to have like a Fs on my account, or even if it gets to like an E where I've earned one trophy, I'll put myself like through that pain of just like getting as much as I can. Like for example, I had Evolve on my list, and it was sitting at like a one trophy. I think I did the tutorial. And then, of course, all the servers shut down. So then I was like, no, I can't have it at an E forever. So I just went into it. I played it for like 2 days, as much as I could, put myself through it. And I got myself up the ranks, you know, of the, got as many trophies as I could. Because that
we healthy?
It's like an eyesore. No, we're absolutely not.
I don't think we're healthy. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to end it here, I think. It's been a nice long peruse through Trophy Time, where we're just some very interesting lists again today. So look, we're going to make our way through everyone hopefully at some point in time on the thread on PlayStation Profiles, and also just in the comments below. You might get seen quicker if you also leave a comment on the videos here, to be fair, just so we can kind of try to get some kind of hierarchy and plan going here. If these videos are still being watched, let us know. We're not shouting into the void.
We're going to try and do 4. I think 4 is a good number per video. Because we're kind of getting around that hour mark, and I think any longer it's
no one's going to listen to us for that long. Like there's only so much we can say. But
again, and thanks to everyone that submitted already, and to of course the wonderful people we've looked at today: Platinum Player, the Finnish Zombie Viking, got Vigilant Crow, the Shiny Hunter of Ultra Rare Madness.
Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Gernbos, the
fantastische Spieler,
the evil super gamer who's played over 800 games. And we've got the absolute opposite of a noob, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1.
Well,
so yeah, some great lists. Thanks a million for allowing us to examine them under the Platchums microscope.
The interrogation. So anyway, you're above me, so I guess I just need to kind of add a bit of it. So thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Platchums!